Good day, collectors and viewers. Social Distance Warrior is back with video number 11. Today we're going to look at our favorite smuggler from a galaxy far, far away. That being Han Solo, made his debut back in 1977. This is his original outfit from A New Hope. Action figure made his debut in 1978. That being this fine gentleman over here in the front. Now, Han Solo notoriously has two different versions that were released at the time. This one here, which was the wide release, the one that ended up staying and going through, all the original movies, Star Wars, Empire, and Jedi being released on all the cards. And I will show you the other one in 1 second. You can see his outfit here, black boots, black pants. He does have a holster sculpted onto his pants there, his belt buckle. He's got his vest sitting over there. He's got his DL-44 blaster in his hand here. Amazing figure, with the larger head sculpt there. He's got the, red stripe running along his pants. Right away when you see this figure, Han Solo, it definitely is one of the most famous action figures of all time. With respect to when you see it, this is one of the vintage figures from Star Wars from way back in the day. Recognizable, I believe, to anybody. So he did have two versions initially when he came out. This head, as well as the smaller head one, which I have over here. Strangely, the smaller one, which they never went for, has more of a likeness that looks like Harrison Ford instead of the big one, but they chose to go with the larger head. There were more than one factory making these figures. There was more than one factory, so potentially maybe that's what it is. Maybe the factory they ended up going with, had provided the larger head or had a different mold or whatnot. But that's the two Han Solos that we have there. And of course, that's, the one from my childhood that I had, that I played with, that went in my Death Star playset, that broke out of the trash compactor because I didn't have a Han Solo and Stormtrooper disguise. And, he took everything, through there. So we had that guy, carried us through 3 movies, and we wouldn't see a Han Solo again until the line, which lay dormant, came back in 1995. And then when the line came back in 1995, they re-released Han Solo along with 3 other figures as a tribute pack, and didn't get very well reception in regards to, people wanted new sculpts, and we got, the same sculpt redid again. So it saw a limited release. They stopped, and out came the new sculpt of Han Solo, and that'll be this guy here. And again, with the times there in the 90s, everything was beefed up. Their philosophy was kids want muscular toys that look like wrestlers or superheroes, so they turned Star Wars into superheroes, experimented with it. Now, he does come with 5 points of articulation as well. He does have, the waist that moves there too. The arms pre-sculpted to hold the blaster. The poses are a little bit weird. You can see he looks more like Arnold than he does like Han Solo. He does have the stripe on his leg. They definitely went with a more realistic coloring in the blue and the black. And then the vest has more of a beige look instead of the white look, which is kind of how it looked like in the movie, and more in that respect. So the Han Solo large blaster in his hand, and that's the figure we got in 95. And of all the original ones that came in the Power of the Force 2, probably my least favorite. He just has difficulty standing. I have to put him on a stand because he's got such a weird pose for his feet. So we had that one in 95, and then soon after that, they had a 1996 one that was like a deluxe set. And that deluxe set one I don't have here, but it's basically almost exactly the same Han Solo. And he has straps running around him, orange, reddish straps that run along them. And he came with a smuggler's pack. And that smuggler's pack is not something from the movie. It's something made up, fantasy. And they were experimenting with certain stuff there. So I don't have that one to show you. In physical form, of course. And the next one after that will be the 1997 20th anniversary of Star Wars. They did the special editions. In the special editions, they put Jabba the Hutt back into the original Star Wars movie. Had a scene with him that was cut initially because they couldn't do Jabba the Hutt. They redid him digitally, and they made a Han Solo figure who's almost identical to the Power of the Force 2 one, except toned down a little bit. So this one looks a lot better. The arm's not sticking out far. The legs are a little closer together, and he's not as beefy. He's a little more realistic looking. And his blaster is blue too, so that kind of stands out. It's more reminiscent of the original blaster in that blue color. So that's the figure that we got with Jabba the Hutt for 97. And the next one that we'd see after that would be the Gunner Station packs. So the Gunner Station packs, they had a Darth Vader with his TIE Advance, they had Luke with the Gunner Station, they had Han Solo with the Gunner Station, and you can combine them together. And that's the Han Solo over here. So he still has that stance where he's not standing straight. He's kind of on an angle, and as a result, I have to put him on a stand. But he does have gloves. You can see he's got gloves, to man that gunner station. And he's got, you can see the cable, the wire running up over here, and the headset on his head. So they've sculpted a headset on him there as well. And that makes him different from the regular release. And yeah, so that was 98. And then there was also in 98, we got a CD-ROM game. It's a game that you slipped it over your keyboard. And it came with a CD-ROM, and it was like a playset of the inside of the cockpit from the Millennium Falcon. It's actually a really neat playset, and it came with a Han Solo as well. So that Han Solo, which looks a lot like the one that's got the headset, same thing, has the gloves on the hands, but one new feature on Han Solo we never saw before here, he comes with articulated knees. So he's got some articulation going here. That's the first time we're seeing articulation in the Power of the Force 2 line. And it was a very pricey set. I ended up picking it up. It went on clearance because they were so expensive, and I ended up picking it up, and I really wanted this Han Solo just because of that articulation on the legs. And so that's what we got in 98. So we got a lot of Han Solos between 95 and 98 compared to, the original one, which we only had that 2 different heads on that particular Han Solo, and then nothing until 1995. So after that CD-ROM game, we move over to 1999 with the ComTech. So Episode 1 figures came with the Darth Maul ComTech, and then they also made original Trilogy ones with the ComTech as well. And that Han Solo is this guy over here I have sitting in the back, and he comes with added articulation. So they did something really neat with him. You can see how I have the knee sitting up over. I have him sitting in the cantina. He does have a holster for his gun, which comes in and out. That was really, really neat at the time. That was, mind-boggling amazing, because we never had something like that before. And his hands, up in the air with his fingers out so he can turn his head. And when he's talking to Greedo, Greedo's asking him, where's the payment? And Han Solo's saying, I don't have it with me. And he's got his leg up here, and then he's got his hand trigger happy, ready to take it out and shoot Greedo. So it does have articulation at the knees, and it's got a swivel on that one knee so you can cross his leg and swivel on the arm. The arm's pre-posed, and then this one over here just goes up and down, and he's got, of course, movement on the waist and on the head, and he does have a vest sitting on there that is sitting over, and it's removable, so it gives it a nice, depth look to Han Solo to make him stand out with a lot more interesting features and updated. Reason to buy another Han Solo, because we had so many already to date. So we'll sit him back over there. That's our ComTech Han. After that, in 2001, with the Power of the Jedi line, we had a Death Star Escape Han Solo. That'll be this one here. It's actually a favorite of mine. Even though he's sculpted, we have Han Solo now, first time with the Stormtrooper belt on. After they came out of the trash compactor, they got rid of the Stormtrooper outfits and the belt stayed on. There doesn't have a holster on there, just looking, not a working holster anyway. He does come with the blaster in his hand, pre-posed. He does have swivels on his arms right here on the elbows. Let's see if I can pull that one out to show you. Both have it in the same way, but he's basically designed to hold, that blaster in his hand, and when he's chasing the stormtroopers down the hallway. I like this figure. I like the sculpt with the hair, the wavy hair. It's a favorite of mine to this day. It just looks really, really good sitting on the shelf. So that was the Power of the Jedi line, which had a lot of pre-posed figures as well at the time. After that, now it was 2002, and it's 25th anniversary. It's time to celebrate Star Wars again. They released 2 packs. One of them was Han Solo and Chewbacca, and we got this Han Solo. So I took the Chewbacca off. They come with a base, and with that base, he comes in that standard pose where he's, attacking anybody and anything. It's a famous pose of Han Solo. And again, pre-posed action figure. You can't really do anything with him. He does have a working holster on there, but he's stuck on there. The legs can bend, but what's he going to do? He can't really change his position, and you can move the arms how you have them, up and down, and you can turn the head. And You know, you look at the face, you're like, yeah, it's supposed to be Han Solo. I know it looks like Crispin Glover from Back to the Future, Marty's dad, but it's actually Han Solo. And kind of, when you look at the lips, it looks a little bit more like Han Solo than Crispin Glover, but he always reminded me of him. So that was with the 25th anniversary. After the 25th anniversary, we went to the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection. So Vintage Original Trilogy Collection would be this guy over here. And they released, you know, figures on their original classic card backs, which was great, at a higher price point, but with full articulation. And this Han Solo has been redone so many times up to today, but that was in 04, just to show you the back there as well. And they have that, you know, original card back to show you the different look on the figures. And that figure there, I got him loose as well, which I'm going to show you, is this guy here, this fine gentleman over here. Let's pull him off that peg just to kind of show you his articulation. So now we have figures with, you know, ball joints on their head, so he can move the head around. The sculpt is amazing on this figure. He does have ball jointed shoulders up here, so you can do anything you want with this figure. He does have that same feature at the elbows, and you can turn his wrists as well. He has a working holster, and unlike it being sculpted on his leg, it's a separate piece, which is really, really neat. And again, adds a lot more realism to these action figures than we had before. Now, the vest is sculpted on, which I prefer actually, because it doesn't make him look as chunky. They can make him look a little bit thinner. He does have the blue red stripe on his legs, and of course his knees bend there, and they do swivel as well, and his ankles too. So you have a lot of posing with this guy. I actually prefer the action figures without the ball joints on the hips. I like this look a lot better. I mean, there's only so many poses you can put them in. You can do more with the ball joint, but I just find it takes away from the look of the action figure. Let's get him back on there if we can, so I can put him back and show you the next figure. Okay. Back you go, Han. Okay, so after the Vintage Original Trilogy Collection one, we went to the 2007 30th anniversary. So with the 30th anniversary, they reused some of that previous sculpt here, and they gave us a Han Solo the Gunner Station one with the headset. Working holster again with his DL-44. He's got gloves on this time, so gloves instead of the regular hands. The paint apps on the pants are a little bit of a brighter blue, which I prefer, actually. The head sculpt is neat with this headpiece on. You can't take, you can take it off, but it's going to be a hole on his head there, so that's going to have to stay on. It's got a separate wire running around the back, and it hooks into his back there, which is a nice feature. He does move at the hips, so he has the same articulation, except instead of giving us, you know, the swivel, which they give us at the shoulder, and giving it to us at the elbow, they give us just a swivel at the elbow. So you don't have that same articulation that you had on that Vintage Original Trilogy one, where you can bend that elbow and you can turn it around any which way you like. So for some reason, they changed that look around and kind of limited his, you know, posability. But nice figure. That's 2007. Also came with that coin. So after 07, the next time we see him is 2009 in the Legacy Collection, Death Star Escape Han. So again, we get him with that Stormtrooper belt, this time with super articulation. That's this guy here. He comes with the chest piece of the Stormtrooper outfit and the helmet as well. So you can see back to the good design of the Han Solo, ball joint, you know, shoulders, you know, ball joint elbows as well. You can move them fully there, and brand new head sculpt on this guy and brand new belt. So the head sculpt, a lot of reminiscent a lot for me of the original one from back in the day with the larger head. I actually prefer it. I don't know. I somehow like this figure with the large head, and you know, this one reminds me of him a lot. And then they reused this figure again a little bit later on, but that's the Death Star Escape one. And you can, you know, pop the head off. It's on a ball joint, and you can put that Stormtrooper, show you that quickly as well. You can put that Stormtrooper chest piece on there, and you can have him half dressed as a Stormtrooper. Let's put that on. So half dressed as a Stormtrooper, and then you can put that helmet on as well if you wanted to, you know, disguise him a little bit, and maybe they can't figure out who he is. So that's the Han Solo and Death Star Escape. Let's put him back over there. Okay. And next time we see Han Solo would be in 2011 in the Vintage Collection. I don't have the physical form of that figure, but it's the Yavin Ceremony Han Solo. It's identical almost to this guy here, except he doesn't come with the Stormtrooper outfit, of course, or the Stormtrooper belt, but he does have that head sculpt back again, and just he comes with a medallion. So That's in the Vintage Collection 2011. And then 2013, circa 2014, Disney, when they took over and they purchased Star Wars from George Lucas, they released Mission Series, Hasbro did, 2-packs, and they went to really plain 5 points of articulation figures, and Han Solo was one of them. He came with Chewbacca. I don't have him to show you here, but that was A New Hope version of him. And then in 2017, for the 40th anniversary of Star Wars, the Black Series, they made a diecast version of Han Solo. So they did a whole bunch of the original figures, the main ones, and Han Solo was one of them. Diecast figure, pre-posed, does have a working holster. You can swivel him at the waist there. He does have swivel elbows, so you can move his arm around. You can turn his wrists as well. The arms and the wrists, this part is plastic, this is metal, this is metal. This part here, the head as well. You can turn it around, and then he's got, his blaster. He's got a regular one. He's got this one with the blast effect on it, which is really neat. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to have it. And he does come with a backdrop. I'll just show you what it looks like from behind as well. And again, the big complaint with these guys here is the paint apps are very, very strange. This one looks a little bit like Robin Williams. Then it does like Han Solo. The little dotted eyes, the eye paint apps aren't very good. And it's a shame, they did cost a lot of money. I did wait till it went on clearance when I picked up mine. And it does come with these backdrops. So this one is the backdrop of the Millennium Falcon where he comes out, and same thing with little pegs. You can stand him on there. If I flip this guy around, you see he's got his like a foil profile of Han Solo. A nice big picture of him there. Then there's one where they're going to get the medals here, the ceremony at the end, and then Chewie's in it as well, and then the Falcon flying up here. So you can choose which one you want as the background. I chose this one here, and of course you can connect them all together as well to have them in your layout. So let's put him back up here. Han Solo. Oh, and then we lost our Cantina one back there. Let's pick you up as well. We can't have you laying on the floor. You're supposed to be sitting. Let's get you back in there. Okay, and then the last time we see Han Solo from A New Hope up to date is in 2019 with the Retro Collection. They re-released a bunch of the original figures that came out. Han Solo was one of them. And here he is. A very nice figure. Again, I'm not crazy about that sticker, but the figure is amazing. It was really good to see them in the store again. And of course, he comes with that larger head. So I can give you a little bit of a comparison between these two guys here to kind of see what they look like. But he does come with that larger head. And the paint apps are a little bit lighter on the eyes and on the eyebrows than mine figure here. And the head's a little bit different in shape. So if you're concerned that this figure is going to be the same as the one you have, the vintage one, it's not. They made enough differences on there to be able to tell which one is which when you're purchasing one. So it was great to see that guy again in the stores. And that's it for my Han Solo and New Hope. Hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, I look forward to doing more again in the future. Take care.